Hey guys, Brandon here, Clunker on the Hill. Told somebody that I would make a little walkthrough on the sandrail that we're building here. It's kind of been put aside for a little while because we're waiting for parts. Part of the problem here in Canada, and at least in my part of it, with getting parts is that where we order parts out of, they don't always have an availability. Everything is order something online or order everything through a magazine or something like that. It's not like the guys that are in California or something that have literally bug shops and stuff. So anyway, this will be an air-cooled sandrail. That's the front end off of a bug, you know, and steering box and all that sort of thing. And the rest of it, with the exception of the rear end here, this tube that goes across here, that's Volkswagen. So, but the rest of it is all kind of hand built. You know, you get some steel and you do whatever. And there are some set forms and there's some kits you can buy and all that sort of stuff. This one here, I just sort of, you know, eyeballed some, looked some up, and decided what I wanted to do it, and did it my own way. And you'll notice the Volkswagen guys right away. They're looking at this shot now and they're going, "Oh, well, how is he hooking the back of it up, right?" Because over here on this one, this is a real old one that somebody built that a buddy of mine picked up. Here's the way that it works. It is back here, you see your tranny sits back here and it hooks on these arms that come out, right? And those are threaded in the end of them. And the tranny fits in there and then the motor hangs off the tranny and so on, right? Well, I haven't got around to doing those yet because we're rebuilding our transaxle and they've got this plate here. Now this is an aftermarket one and it's gonna go and hook up to like a couple of these holes go where those normal rods would run out from here, and they run out back like this, right? And they hook up right there. And then this one here is for where you put a bumper or roll cage or something on the back of it. And so I haven't done that yet because I actually am waiting for a gasket and seal kit and all that sort of thing and stuff for my transaxle to put it back together and some bearings and everything. And it'll hook to here. And then in the front here is where the nose of the tranny goes, and then, you know, your shift linkage goes off there and so on. And then back here, so I mean, we can do some measurements and we can take some angles and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm waiting to do is I'm going to make some similar to the stock ones here, but I didn't really like the stock setup. So I thought I would make my own, and I'm gonna make some out of probably some round tubing. The only thing I haven't got around to deciding about so far is how I'm going to anchor the bolts in. Normally, like, that's a threaded end in there. That's a threaded end, like in here and here, and there's a bolt that holds it all on. And what I was thinking about doing is either, like, you know, welding a big nut inside there or something, or doing it a different way. Anyway, we're gonna figure out how we're gonna anchor it. If somebody's been in this before, you know, shoot me a message, let me know. But there's one old school sandrail kind of thing, or buggy, and this is the one that we built. We built it just from tube with a tube bender, and kind of figured out the geometry the way we wanted to make it. I wanted it wide because I'm a big guy, so as you see, you know, sides come out nice and wide. But I also wanted to keep it pretty short in overall length to give us turning and all that, because, you know, where we live versus the sand dunes, it's all trees, right? You know, it's trees and trails. A little look at the yard. So there's the Colorado down there. You've heard me talking about it a little bit. So so where we live, we're trail riding more than anything. So we're kind of doing what side-by-sides and all that sort of thing does nowadays. And but we want to do it with this. My son kind of talked me into this because I was building the Manx. That's in the garage in the house, and that's kind of my toy. And he talked me into this. I'll admit it didn't take a whole lot to talk me into it, but I guess while I'm on here, this ain't too long a video. Let's wander over and take a quick peek at the Manx. So just for, you know, that's why I say we're kind of Volkswagen guys, but not really in another way. So there's the Manx as it sits right now. The body is just sitting on it by the grace of God, and we just set it back on because I finished making the floor pans in it, and finished doing some of that work. So we did our own floor pans, and I made my own side rails on the side of it here. I didn't like the factory ones that were on there. They were quite bad, and so we wanted to stiffen it up a little bit. I don't like the way they cut them most of the time and then weld everything back together. So I decided to kind of do my own thing there. And here's the way that fits in again, by the way. So you see there's like your plate that goes on the bottom and the way that it bolts in. Then your transaxle sits on top and the arms come out over, go to each side. So, and then I don't